a tribute song to Munster and Ireland rugby legend Anthony Foley will be launched at half-time at the Aviva Stadium this weekend for the All Blacks game. It is called Alone You Stand. It is by Barry Murphy, former rugby player and Hermitage Green singer, and I'm delighted to welcome that Anthony's sister Orla is with us on the line this morning. Orla, a very good morning to you. Thanks a million for taking the call.
Very good morning to you too. Thank you so much for having me and helping me promote this fabulous song that's a most wonderful tribute to my brother. And it's such an honour to be here, and the song is launching, and the response so far, because it's available to download as we speak from I Donate, Alone You Stand, and you can donate as little as you want. And it's fabulous. It's like a dream come true. The way I describe it is, out of the darkest, deepest sorrow I've ever known, some light has sprung, and it's a work of art. Fair play to Barry. He's very brave. It's kind of like reading his diary. He's very vulnerable and he shares his feelings. He doesn't hold back. So it's absolutely magic to be part of something so special in memory of Anthony.
How does an idea like this come about, Orla? Is it your idea? Is it Barry's idea?
Collaborative. Poor Anthony wasn't even dead, I'd say, a few hours, and I was asking Barry to write a song, and every time I'd meet him afterwards, I'd go, "How's the song coming on, Barry?" And he'd just shrug and he'd go, "It's not. I've writer's block." And I kept asking and he kept shrugging, and then I stopped asking because I started doing my Wild Ways fundraiser in memory of Anthony, which was cycling the Wild Atlantic Way. And for Anthony's 4th anniversary, Barry had actually pinned half of the song, which I loved. It was beautiful. I thought it was perfect as it was. But Barry, being the artist and incredibly gifted that he is, he spent a year finishing off the rest of the song. And it's absolutely, I get where he was coming from now. Because when he was like, "No, it's not finished," I was like, "What do you mean it's not finished? I think it's beautiful." Whereas on Anthony's 5th anniversary, I got to hear the actual new version, the full enchilada, and it blew me away so much. I actually listened to it 5 times, and I just really wanted to give Barry a hug after it, which is unfortunate in today's world, you can't. I just thought, I've always admired Barry. Myself and Anthony and Barry actually studied together. That's where our friendships formed. Well, my friendship with Barry, Anthony's was obviously through rugby. So we've very fond memories, and we've always had a good laugh. But he's really pulled it out of the hat this time. So yeah, and he's been so generous donating it to the fundraiser. He's just, from the very start, his generosity knows no ends, to be fair.
I didn't realise that this was in the making for such a long time, Orla. So to know that, and to know that kind of so much emotion over such a long period of time has gone into this. Like, how did you feel when you initially heard the song for the first time and it had finally been completed after 5 years?
It's unbelievable. It's better than I ever thought it would be. And it's, at first I was saying, it was a song for Anthony, whereas now I call it a tribute song, because it really is. It's a tribute for everything that Anthony meant to Barry, for the love they all had as teammates, for how much the loss has impacted us all. And it's not just if you were impacted by Anthony's death. If you were impacted by anyone's death, this song will touch and move you. It's going to be a timeless piece, to be fair. It's so how did I feel? Over the moon. It was bittersweet, as you could imagine. I'd rather not be feeling it. I'd rather my brother hadn't died and I wouldn't be having these conversations, but life is difficult and life is hard. It's not what you expect it to be. So you just have to make the most of it and, savor the blessings. And this song is a true blessing, really. And it's lovely to have. And I sing it all the time. I find myself singing it going around, and I've learned to play it on the guitar, and I'm no Barry Murphy, but it's lovely. It's very therapeutic.
When did you decide to start fundraising, Orla? When did that become something that you felt would be a good way to channel your grief?
The lockdown, really. I had heard about cycling the Wild Atlantic Way, but when would you ever get time to do something like that? So when we had the lockdown and social distancing, cycling the Wild Atlantic Way sounded like the perfect idea because, there was no weddings, there was no funerals, there was no rugby matches, no birthdays. So all of a sudden my weekends were free. And I just took the opportunity, and what a lovely way to do it in memory of Anthony. And I'd actually cycled the Camino after he died, which was really raw. That was really raw grief. Whereas this Camino, this journey was about savouring and actually being grateful for all the blessings in life, particularly all the extra years we had Anthony, because he nearly died when he was quite young a few times. So I'm very mindful of how different my life would have been had I not had the enrichment of having my brother alive and knowing him and loving him here. So off I went on the Wild Atlantic Way. I cycled Clare twice due to lockdowns, waiting to get out of intercounty. And it was one of the most epic, most beautiful, rewarding, enriching journeys I've ever experienced. And so much so, I'd do it all again in the morning. Well, maybe not in winter, but I'd do it all again. It's
And you raise a lot of money for charity as well. So it wasn't just about purging your own grief or paying tribute. It was actually something that you were able to put to good use as well.
Yeah, I picked 3 charities close to our hearts. Over 9,000 euros. Actually, it's probably over 10,000 now as we speak. And even Barry's song, the last I checked, is heading to 3,000 on top of that. So the 3 charities are absolutely amazing. Excuse me. Cry, they screen for a sudden adult death that Anthony died of, and help screen members of families like ours and others, so that anyone that would be at risk within the family is picked up, and a simple procedure occurs that they get a little thing in, and they're safe, they're monitored for the rest of their lives. And they now provide free grief counselling, and then Carry, which provide sexually abused children and their family support, and they do wonderful work, they're amazing. And then Midwestern Cancer Foundation, who Anthony was actually the ambassador for, and he was on the board of, and they're fabulous. They provide free holistic and counselling for oncology patients in the Midwest. And they're just all fabulous. They're lovely people. They're great to work with. And it's an absolute pleasure to be able to give something back to such wonderful people who help people in need.